Hi, my name is Mindy, and I'm standing in front of Shoaff's mill at Little Buffalo State Park. Shoaff's mill is a grist mill that was built in the late 1830s. The mill was originally built to serve the Juniata iron furnace, which was located just up the road behind us. The mill passed through a couple different hands, but it actually ended up in a Shoaff sale in 1861. And the person who purchased it was William Shoaff, and that's where it gets its name. So the Shoaff family actually owned and operated the mill from the 1860s all the way through the 1940s when it ceased operation. Now grist mills, the word grist is actually a name for different types of grains. So the main products that came out of this mill were cornmeal, flour, wheat products, and they did some various animal feeds as well. They also had a sawmill as well as an apple cider press, which we'll see inside too. In order to build a mill like Shoaff's mill, you had to find some way to get water down to the water wheel. So many mills chose to create mill races, which are basically canals that bring water from the stream down to the water wheel. This simple tool here was actually used to create the mill race that we see behind us here. The horse would be hooked up to this plow. It would loosen, but it would also scoop the dirt up, and this is how many mill races were dug. So in order to start Shoaff's mill, we actually have to get the water to the water wheel. And in order to do that, we place a gate in the stream in order to divert the water away from the stream and into the mill race. So what you see here now is the water flowing down the mill race and into the mill race pond, and that's where the water will pull up and kind of stays until it's actually needed to turn the water wheel on. So behind me is the water wheel that powers Shoaff's mill. Now the water comes down this quarter-mile channel and it enters into a flume pipe up on the top of the hill. So then that water comes over the top of the wheel. This is what's known as an overshot water wheel. It was actually shipped here in 1906 in about 6 pieces by railway and then by horse and wagon, and then assembled on site. It's 32 feet across and weighs almost 7 tons. It provides almost 40 horsepower and a lot of torque. So here we have some of the gears that are actually powering the machinery inside of the mill. We have the main drive shaft that comes in directly off the water wheel. So these cogs will actually spin and power the different machines here inside the mill. This actually goes straight up to the 4th floor of the mill. It goes all the way to the top. And that's basically transferring the energy from down here all the way upstairs. And so anything powered on the 3rd or the 4th floor is actually powered off of that vertical drive shaft. I'm standing next to our apple cider press. So apple cider was one of the products that might have came from Shoaff's mill. This is not the original cider press, but it is one that we used during our Apple Festival here at Little Buffalo State Park. So if you come and visit us during our Apple Festival, you'll get to see this press in action. We also have a really cool variety of agriculture-related tools over here. The cradle saw was used to actually cut wheat. We have a flail down here, which was used to separate the wheat from the shaft of the plant. Now we have a variety of other tools over here as well. Some of these are more used in the logging industry or for sawmills, so we have some brush axes. Bark sputters were used to remove the bark from the trees before they were cut. And then over here we have, my favorite possibly, is the collection of old photos from the mill. So this one here is actually the earliest photo that we have from the Shoaff collection, and that was from back in 1882. So here on the 2nd floor of the mill is where our millstones are located. This set of millstones right here, these are known as French burr stones. The burr stone was a particular type of stone that was actually harvested out of Paris, France. They were shipped over in the ballast of ships, and they were actually pieced together to make these millstones over here in America. So you can see this is what they call a composite stone. It has many smaller pieces that are pieced together. Outside we have some other types of millstones. We have some solid stones, and they look very, very different. Now this stone here to my right actually gets flipped over top onto the stone on my left. And you can see where this metal piece here fits perfectly onto that stone. So this top stone just balances on top of this other stone. So this is our fully set up and working set of millstones. As you can see, the hoop and hopper are sitting over top of the grindstone, which is located within the hoop here. And then this is our actual stone crane. So this is what's used to move the grindstones or to flip the grindstones off of each other when they need to be cleaned or dressed. So the edges of this will actually go into the grindstone, and then two people will stand up top and we'll turn this and keep turning it and turning it and turning it. It takes a really long time, but actually myself and another person are easily able to move this 2,700-pound millstone off of the other one. So this right here is called a corn sheller. So this actually pulls the corn off of the kernel. So inside you can kind of see the working gears a little bit, but what happens is you drop the corn ear down into here. These teeth will actually pull the kernels right off of the cob. The corn will fall down below. The cob stays on top, the kernels fall down through, and you can easily de-shell corn very quickly with one of these machines. Now over here we have our flour sifter or bolder. This is not the original one for this mill, but this is another one that was donated to us. Basically, the workings of this is this will be spinning while the wheel is spinning. And what happens is the good parts of the wheat are going to fall out through this cloth, and then the shells or the harder part of the wheat will stay inside. So this is actually going to sift out the wheat and make it a little bit finer. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Shoaff's mill. We're very fortunate here at Little Buffalo State Park to have several historic structures, including Clay's Bridge, the Blue Ball Tavern, Shoaff's mill behind me, as well as the Sulphur Springs Cemetery. So if you get the chance to come out and visit us and come see these amazing structures, please do. We hope to see you here soon.